Hello, my name is Nicholas Salmoni, and I would like to show off my game, Foodie. Foodie is a 2 to 6 player card game with the goal of getting players to learn and understand more about the foods that they're eating. A serious goal for this game is to show players what kind of foods that they're eating and to help them understand what exactly they're putting into their bodies in terms of healthiness overall. Taking inspiration from my research about how to eat a balanced diet and how to incorporate many different colorful foods into one's diet, this game opts to show players how they can not only improve their physical health, but also their mental health when it comes to eating foods. Now you might be wondering, who is Foodie designed for? Foodie is designed for those who want to learn how to eat a better and more balanced diet in their daily lives. Additionally, Foodie is designed as a game that those who enjoy playing card and board games can enjoy together with friends in a semi-competitive environment, as this game puts players against each other to try and complete their meals in the best possible way that they can. So, now that we know who this game is for and a little bit about it, let me teach you how to play. Foodie is a game that works in 3 rounds: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Each round, players will try to complete their meal cards that they are dealt at the start of the game. So as an example, that's a breakfast card, here's a lunch, and here's a dinner. Each card has a specific set number of colors and a set number of dots indicating how many different food item cards they need to complete. Starting with breakfast, players must try to complete this card with the current food items they have in their pantry. Each player at the start of the game will be dealt 3 food item cards that they can use to complete their meals. So, as you can see, my breakfast round, I need a green and a red colored food item. I have a tomato and I have a cabbage, both of which complete that goal. However, I need a yellow food color item, which I don't currently have. The way I get more items, and the way a player can get more items, is to go to the shop, right? So the shop during the game will be a small set of cards off to the side of the game board that the players can buy from. So, in a player's turn, what they can choose to do is one of 3 different things. The first thing they can do is they can buy an item from the shop, right? So I can buy this corn, the sweet corn, and add it to my pantry, so I can use it for my next turn. Or I could also complete a meal, right? So if I have, for example, a red, a green, and a yellow to complete my breakfast meal, then I could discard all of these cards to complete this meal, moving into the end of the round procedures. The last thing I can do is I can discard a card. Say I don't want this blueberry card in my pantry anymore, I can discard it and put it in the discard pile. However, that is going to get me a singular point. The way this game works is that players are going to try and complete their meal cards while having as few food items in their pantry as possible in terms of point values. Looking at a card here, like this tomato card, you can see that there's many different indicators on the card. First thing is the image indicator, the word of what actually the food item card is, the color item stamp here, indicating what color this food item is, and also how many points this is worth at the end of each round. So, now that I have my red tomato, my green cabbage, and my yellow sweet corn, I can complete my breakfast meal. So I can put my breakfast here, and I can discard these cards into the discard pile to complete this meal, moving into the end of round procedures. The way the end of round procedures work is they start immediately after someone completes their meal card for that round. So since I just completed the breakfast round, we're going to move to the end of round procedures. That means every single player will have one more turn to either discard a food item card, complete a meal, or buy from the shop. Any food item cards that are left in the player's pantry at the end of the round after they've taken their last turn for that round will be added to the player's score. However, if you complete your meal during that round, like I have here, then those points would not be counted towards my total score. But for example, say if I didn't complete my meal, then I wouldn't gain an extra additional point to my score. Points in this game work exactly the same way as they do in golf. The more points you have, the worse off that you're doing. So now that we've completed this meal, I move on to my lunch. So now we're on lunch. So now I need a blue, a yellow, a green, and a red. So now I'm trying to figure out trying to find a singular food item card that covers one of each of these colors. So I can continue on to the game, buying items from from the shop, discarding them to the pantry, and continuing on just like that. I can also, another fun rule for the shop is the shop doesn't restock with food items until every single food item has been purchased from the store, which then will restock the shop with 3 brand new food item cards for the players to take from. As for the future of this game, there's a lot of changes and optimizations that I want to do to make the game feel a lot more refined and professional. The first thing I want to do is add in more food item cards to the game. There's a lot of food item cards that I don't currently have that I want to put in. I also want to add in more cards with more effects to help change and diversify gameplays for each and every individual player. Next, I want to refine the cards that I currently have to give them more of a professional and clean look. Currently, I don't like the border on the outside of the cards. I would like to get rid of that completely. Along with that, each card has an individual color icon on the upper right side. I would do away with this color icon, and I would make the whole card itself one plain color based on what color of the card it is. So tomato, the whole background would be red. I would lastly change up how the calorie, the tomato, and the point text looks and feels to make it look better with the background change as well. I feel like making these changes to the game itself and to the cards themselves would definitely help give that more professional look that I'm going for. Lastly, I want to make 1 copy of the game for myself just so I can have to play with friends and family whenever they decide to come over. Thank you so much for listening to my pitch video about my game Foodie. I hope you enjoyed.